Detroit Lions fans, welcome back in. Stephen Will. Victory Monday, just another Monday. I don't know. If you can't tell by Will's sweet little baby face, he's clueless. He has no idea what this episode's going to be about. This is not a trap episode. I'm doing this so that I could get Will's raw reaction. I told him, don't look at anything I have loaded in and ready to go. Just hop on, sit back. Will, all
Yes,
this
sir.
past week, we've given a lot of props, a lot of respect to Justin Jefferson. I
Yeah, yeah.
have I have zero respect for this guy now. I have zero
Mm.
respect. Zero respect for how he handled his post game show, William. I'm just gonna play this. I'm gonna let you decipher. I don't even know if you've seen this, but let's roll the tape.
But like in terms of the physical nature of the way they covered you, is that how would you kind of assess that?
Uh, I mean, we felt like some of the calls that should have been called out there didn't get called. They held us a lot, a lot of calls that were left out there, but that's not something that we're looking forward to. That's not something that we're going to put the blame on. We still needed to go out there and still execute the plays that we had. We still had opportunities to go out there.
William,
Yes, sir.
complaining about referees post game when the only touchdown the Minnesota Vikings had was at Detroit Airport. Okay, like period. That's the only time. Only time we saw Minnesota Vikings have a touchdown was on the plane when they landed here from Minnesota. All right.
Fact.
I think Justin Jefferson, physically, football wise, is the greatest receiver in the game today. All right. He's on track to be one of the greatest of all time. All right. He's on track to be a GOAT. How he handled this post-game press conference really rubs me the wrong way. Okay, this is an NFL superstar complaining about referees. Do you feel like he has something to stand on here, or do you think this is kind of? I'll say, do you think this is kind of poor sportsmanship?
I feel like the story goes deeper, man. Meek Robertson had made mention to a little something. I'm not sure if you saw it, but he said at week 7, I believe, when we played the Minnesota Vikings, uh, he got an opportunity to cover him a little bit. It wasn't exclusive, but he got an opportunity to get him here and there. And Justin Jefferson scored a touchdown on him. Said after the game, they met on the field, shook hands. Said he told him good game, good luck to him. These are guys that go back to high school. So after the game yesterday, there was none of that. Justin Jefferson just left. He said Meek said he was looking for him, trying to, shake hands, tell him keep his head up, go out there and take care of business the following week against the Rams. And, he just walked out the field, no love. He said that he took that as disrespect. He didn't make a big deal about it, but he's just like, hey man, it's just something I noted it. And maybe we'll see those guys, maybe we won't, but he's going to focus on what we got to do moving forward. So I think this just leads further into that. So I'm not gonna say I don't like it. If our players were doing it, I wouldn't like it at all. I feel like SOL Lions did stuff like this. We talked about, hey, the refs did this, the other team was doing this. How come about this call or that call? I hate to keep bringing it up because I know it's a bit of a bitter subject, but Buffalo Bills game, you didn't see us getting on here or the players getting on here or the coaches getting on here talking about, hey man, Dalton Kincaid was firing guns at our players and calling first downs, and they weren't calling that or whatever. It was none of that. It was none of that. And I think it just speaks to who our guys are, Steve. We got dudes, again, no excuses. We just get out and put out, right? Give everything we got. And if it doesn't go our way, we pick ourselves up, pick our face up off the ground, and come back tougher, man. So I think that's what Justin Jefferson should be doing. He should have said, and I don't understand why this wasn't the statement. Detroit Lions were the better team today. We're going to try to take care of the Rams, and we'll see them next week or the following week. That's all he needed to say. All of this, the refs, or they were holding me, or there were opportunities there, but this or that was happening. That's stuff. Maybe you talk about that in your locker room. Maybe you talk about that with coaches or when you go over film. But when you're sitting down in front of that media, all that needs to come out of your mouth, again, they were the better team today. Hopefully we get to see them again. So yeah, Steve, I think that it was pretty whack, but I'm not going to give too much energy to it because the bottom line is the Detroit Lions are on a bye week,
Yeah.
resting, kicking their feet up, just licking their wounds after a tough physical game. Minnesota had a tough physical defense, man. But we're healing up where they got to worry about playing with that Detroit Lions hangover, man.
William, I know you're not like a hockey guru or anything, but one of my favorite traditions in hockey is in the playoffs. When the series is over, you line up, you shake hands, unless you're Sidney Crosby in 2008. You just skate off the ice and you don't acknowledge the Red Wings just beat you. But that's a tradition that's very underrated that I appreciate, I respect. In the NFL, there's no handshake, but I know it's not always a guarantee. But these players do jersey swaps. I was thinking like halfway through that fourth quarter, like, all right, it would be pretty cool if like Amik Robertson and Justin Jefferson swapped jerseys. Like, hey, we battled, you got the better of me this time. Say the same things like you said in the press conference. You know, Detroit was a better team. He didn't do that. He went out and blamed the referees and said that he wasn't he was held, William. So I don't bring you a problem without showing you some evidence, William. Are you ready for a little dose of evidence on some of these holding calls? Are you ready? Because I've been doing homework today. All right. I told you I have gotten zero sleep last night. I've been an evil genius in this laptop, just crunching away, William, editing, clipping. Hey, what can I do? I'm going to show you some evidence of Justin Jefferson being held. Okay. Are you ready for this? It's only about 6 seconds, but a lot of work went into this 6 seconds. All right.
Okay. All right.
Third and goal. Here come the Lions. Darnold firing. Jefferson overthrown.
Boy, I didn't see him even get touched there, William. wasn't even touched. That was early in the game. That was a chance to tie it up. Boy, Justin Jefferson, he got held, man. You know what? Let's play it just one more time, Will. Look at the top of the screen. That's Justin Jefferson one-on-one with Amik Robertson, our guy. Just watch all this contact that happens here.
Third and goal. Here come the Lions. Darnold firing. Jefferson overthrown.
R.I.P. to that pylon, because that's the only thing that got hit, Will.
Yeah. Hey, I want to seal something, man, real quick. I'm so glad that you pulled this up, because this is one of the things I was telling you in our post game show that my son Taj was talking about. He was like, "Look right there, Justin Jefferson was wide open." So I just want to take an opportunity to talk to the football heads and just people that are interested about this play. So before Steve plays it again, I want you to understand this. We have a blitz on where we have numbers. By numbers, I mean this. We have more defenders peeling on the blitz, coming on the blitz, than they have blockers. So we are aware that we are going to get somebody free. All right. So what does Amik do? And what tells me that he is super intelligent? He jumps the slant. He jumps the inside route. So what you're looking at is a play to where it looks like Justin Jefferson just beat him and he's wide open. Right? And it was just like Amik got shook out of his shoes. But that's really not what happened. Amik is as aggressive as he is, understands the defense and what's going on. He tries to jump the inside route, knowing, hey, if they get enough time to get him outside up top towards the pylon, then he's in trouble, man. So run it back, Steve, understanding those things for the people, and let me see if they see what I see.
Third and goal. Here come the Lions. Darnold firing. Jefferson overthrown.
We got a guy coming clean, man. Sometimes that's what I was talking about when I'm talking about Alex Anzalone being on the field. It's understanding the defense, understanding the scheme, knowing how to execute things and get sometimes just a little itty bitty advantage, or knowing how to gamble inside of your defensive scheme, man. It makes all the world of difference, man. So it's not just about, hey, man, I have this defensive scheme. I drew it up and it should work because I drew it up to perfection, right? You don't get the instinctual things, one, if you don't understand it. If you don't understand it and understand the things that are going on around you, then you're not going to get the instinctual plays like that. Now, if we had somebody like if we got a corner from another team in free agency and he came in for a couple of weeks and then he just got implemented into our defense, he might understand what his responsibility is on a play, but he might just do the X's and O's. He might not understand, like, hey, I got a blitz overload coming. I know such and such is going to come clean. Either one of the two guys that are in there going to come clean. It's going to have to be hot out of his hands on the inside if I get beat. So I'm going to jump it, man. That's what Alex Anzalone brings to the table as well. Again, that's why you didn't see running backs running for swing routes and wheels and running back H-back post routes and all that other stuff, man. I just think that Man, I'm so glad, man. We got Alex back. This defense is about to be again. We had a great game against the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm getting on the soapbox, but they had opportunities to score, but everything is just going to be tough now. It's going to be tough, and I'm excited for it.
Well, you didn't think I was done, did you?
Oh boy, we got more.
You didn't think I had.
you know, I love this. This is right up my alley. So bring it.
You thought that was all the homework I did. You thought just a little 6-second clip was all I've been hammering away with Justin Jefferson, complaining about these refs. Like I said, the only touchdown you had was when you landed in Detroit on the plane. Let's just look at the stats. All right, this isn't even crazy homework. All right, this is like extra credit. If you're a teacher or a student in school still, and you get that easy work, and your teacher says, "Hey, what's 2 + 2 for some extra credit?" All you got to do is go to the box score here and just look at the team stats. The Detroit Lions were called for 8 penalties for 49 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The Minnesota Vikings were called for 6 penalties for a total of 30 yards. And to my knowledge, 6 penalties. 4 of those, I believe, were either a delay of game or a false start, so nothing post-snap. This was all pre-snap penalties. We didn't get 1 holding call. We didn't get 1 pass interference call. We didn't get 1 hands to the face, 1 face mask. You're telling me that the Minnesota Vikings just went out there and played the cleanest football game of all time. And that's fine and dandy because we don't bitch about referees on the show. I'm just talking about some comments were made. Should have taken the high road. Now I got to get that belt back out and give Justin Jefferson a couple more licks because he opened his mouth and talked shit about the referees when the referees were not a factor in the game. Your team got down inside the 5-yard line, not 1 time, 2 times, tried to play Dan Campbell football, did not convert, did not score points. Your quarterback overthrew you. Your quarterback overthrew TJ Hockenson early in the first quarter to keep a drive going. I think it was like 3rd and 17, something like that. TJ Hockenson pulled up because he didn't want to get hit because he knows Kirby Joseph's back there. He doesn't want to take that shot. The referees did not cost you the game. We could talk about some of the delay of games that weren't called that I noticed. We could talk about how we've been to every single game for the past 3-4 seasons. I missed one, the Buffalo game. I saw some weird stuff going on where the referees were kind of spotting the ball and, hey, put 3 more seconds on the clock, put 5-6 seconds on the play clock and, try to kill that crowd down a little bit. So Sam Darnold, when he's going like this and the place is erupting and Lions fans are doing the skull chant in the 4th quarter, we don't want to get them too razzled. I saw some weird stuff going on, but to blame the referees when your quarterback was just out there doing what he was doing when he was with the New York Jets. Will, he was just seeing those ghosts of Kirby Joseph, Muhammad coming after him, DJ Reader pushing his O-line around. Sam Darnold goes to the bench. I'm seeing ghosts out there, coach. I don't know where to throw the football. Do I throw it 10 yards past Justin Jefferson? I see him making all these one-handed catches. Is he getting held? He's not getting held, Will. Take the high road. Admit that you got bodied up by Amik Robertson. He put you in his back pocket. I tell you this right now, we use a lot of PFF grades, especially when we're talking draft stuff. I am officially 100% done with PFF for them giving Amik Robertson a grade of somewhere in the 60s for what he did to Justin Jefferson yesterday. Okay, they graded him one of the lowest defensive Lions defenders last night. Ultimate smack in the face. Player of the game, player of the probably season because it was the best cornerback play we've seen all year. We're done with PFF here. Detroit done 3-1-3. At least I am. I don't know how you feel. I don't know where they get their stats or analytics. All you got to do is watch that football game. William, I just don't know. I just don't know what we're doing anymore.
I love it, though, man. I love it. I'm excited, man, about this team. This team is doing special stuff, man. And I love it when guys just give us more bulletin board material. Just not being a classy dude and leaving the field in a way where you can't even shake hands, give some dab, give some, even if you got to fake it, man, hey, man, good game, blah, 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 and go on about your business, man. Not being able to do that. And I get it, man, being a competitor, being frustrated. I'm not asking you to hug the guy and take pictures with his family, but, hey, walking across the field and shaking hands. Like, I know that pretty much the only guarantee for the most part, and it's not always a guarantee, is that the head coaches are going to walk across that field and shake hands. But as a player, I mean, it's a slippery slope because I think some of these guys, I was looking at George Kittle after the game, after the 49ers got busted up by us, and he's chucking it up, laughing, smiling, and, whatever. I wouldn't particularly want to see that, but I would like to see you shake hands, man. bottom line. You got some guys that you have a history with, high school, going all the way back to high school battles, known each other since you guys were kids. You can't just go dap them up, man, and say good job. And who knows, man, maybe they shot a text to each other afterwards or whatever. But at the end of the day, when you play in the NFL, you've agreed to be, whether you like it or not, you're now in the spotlight. You're now a mentor. So what are you teaching these young kids that are staying and watching the game and watching you storm off of the field? You're teaching them, and those are the kids that we're going to see in Little League storming off the field, not scoring any touchdowns, and then grittying in the parking lot. Like it's just not the right thing to do. So Steve, I think you hit a home run with that one, man. I know Amik has already addressed it a little bit, and if we do have to see him again, hey man, thanks for the bulletin board material, because you don't get a lot of it from the Detroit Lions.
I want to see him again. I want to see Justin Jefferson come back and ready for war. Like, that's what makes football great, competition. My closing statement, and I'm just going to say this, it's been a fun show. Like, I'm throwing some jabs. It's all fun and games. I still say Justin Jefferson is one of the greatest receivers in football today. I think he's on track physically for what he does on a football field to be considered one of the top 5 of all time, possibly. He's that good. He's a damn good receiver. I hate that he's in our division. I hate that we have to see him twice a year, maybe 3 times a year this season, depending on what happens out in LA next week. Phenomenal athlete. I can't say enough things. I've been saying high things about Justin Jefferson for the past 2 seasons. All right. I just didn't like how he handled this press conference and what he did post game. We're not a Minnesota Vikings podcast. I understand that, but Amik Robertson just deserves a lot more credit than what he got for PFF also. So that's all I got for today. Will, you got anything else?
Hey man, sometimes children just do what children are gonna do, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes kids are just gonna be kids, man. You gotta teach them, man. You gotta parent them. You know what I mean? You just gotta teach them the right way. So hey, maybe Amik, if we see him again, he talks to him while they're out there on the field, man, and teaches them how you do things properly.
Yeah, no gentle parenting around here. Tonight, 8 p.m., 8-ish, somewhere around there, about 8:15. Live show. A lot of people say, oh man, I wish I knew you guys were going live. We've been posting it on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. We're doing 5 prizes tonight, 2 jerseys, 2 gift cards. That bobblehead Will just showed. 8 p.m. tonight. Set your alarm, set your calendars, set an alarm clock, do whatever you got to do. Yeah, I got a Brian Branch jersey right next to me in the closet. We're going to give that away, this Penei Sewell jersey, 2 Fanatics gift cards for $100 each. One person can win each prize. All right. We're not letting someone, come in here and do a clean sweep of all 5. Only one prize per victor. We're not going to let someone win every single thing. Members, you guys are automatically entered into everything. Think about becoming a member. It's greatly appreciated. We're trying to give back. Stick around 8 p.m., 8:15, somewhere around that time. You're going to see us going live tonight. Hit that like button, leave some comments. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.